Hello everybody and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. In today's video I will be discussing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Orchid, as well as Rep. And there's not a lot of news that's really going on. It's a Sunday, things are kind of quiet just a tad bit, but we are on the verge of hitting $50,000. What? For Bitcoin. So that's going to be very exciting. And we have less than 1 minute to go now on the new daily candle chart. On the daily candle chart, getting ready to form a new daily candle position. And yeah, so again, there's not really much news that's going to be going on today as far as for Bitcoin. So this is going to be a pretty darn short video in comparison to normal, guys. I think a lot of people are wondering what's going to be happening primarily on Tuesday, because we do have Monday here in the United States as a holiday. That's President's Day. And we'll just kind of see what's going on with that. So very curious to see how this is going to play out as the new daily candle position opens up. In fact, I'm actually going to try and get this ready. This is a separate chart that I really like to look at from time to time. And this is showing, I have it labeled as transactions that are $100,000 or more. Anything that's green is being bought at a higher price. Anything that's red is being bought at a lower price. And now we're on the new daily candle position. So daily candle closure right around $48,700 it looks like. So just slightly in the red zone as of the moment. I feel like a lot of people really want to push for this to hit $50,000, and the fact that this could end up doing it very soon. Because we were very close. Yesterday had a high position of $49,700. So we're about $1,000 behind that point as of this given moment right now. The fact that it dropped below $49,000 is a little bit of a cause for concern, but we typically see some high levels of volatility going on once the new daily candle positions have set themselves up. And now we're actually opening up for a Monday position. So I'm very, very curious to see how this is going to move. Right now, it does look like it is slightly in the green. There's a little bit of back and forth action that's going on, but it is just slightly in the green. And try to break above $49,000 is obviously going to be something that we need to do on the immediate front as we're trying to push towards our $50,000 goal. But now we have a new key position of resistance that was formed yesterday of an all-time high. Once again, don't you love this feeling? After all these years of just waiting for it to hit an all-time high again, it's like we have another all-time high and now another all-time high, and it just keeps going. It could go all the way. And that's at $49,700. So we're really going to try and keep an eye out for that. As you guys can see, a wave of green action is starting to come in. Some selling pressure going on as well. So it's a bit back and forth action here. So let's go ahead and hop into a couple other things. First, I want to go ahead and let you guys know is that I am on Twitter at AtlasOfficialTV. I do talk about stuff with Bitcoin. I retweet things about stuff with Bitcoin. I post my own polls on stuff with cryptocurrency. I talk about some of the altcoins. I especially talk about Orchid because that's my favorite altcoin personally. But, you know, everyone's got their own favorites, right? So just a couple of the things that they're saying over here on Twitter. It's Valentine's Day as of the time I'm recording this video. Instead of flowers today, consider Bitcoin at $53,680. Bitcoin becomes a $1 trillion asset. That's just right around the corner, by the way. Who knows? We could end up hitting that in the next 24 hours. We've seen like a $10,000 push going over the course of one day, so it is very possible. You are my heart, my life, my one and only thought. Arthur Conan Doyle on Bitcoin. AKA the author for Sherlock Holmes, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. You forgot the sir in there. At $10,000, I said Bitcoin would end in tears. I was right. I don't own any, and I could cry. This poor man. I mean, it's still not too late, dude. People keep thinking that they missed the boat, and they don't realize that the boat is just getting started. Right? You're just sailing into open waters. You don't know where the end is. You have any idea what kinds of stuff you're about to explore? It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. So yeah, go drop me a follow if you guys want to check me out. Oh, pointing the wrong direction. My stuff's reversed here. So go check me out on Twitter at AtlasOfficialTV. And something else I want to talk to you guys about as well is if you are holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin, or if you happen to have some stable coins that you've just been thinking about, like some point you may use, but you don't know when, or you're looking for these things, but primarily you're looking at it from a long-term perspective. If you guys have not heard of BlockFi, now is a great time for you guys to actually learn about this. Let me make this clear. I am not sponsored by them for this. I've been using their services. I'm seeing the benefit. you should check it out. It's a great thing. But let me just go ahead and briefly explain it, and then we'll go into the charts here. So basically, if you're holding Bitcoin, you're like, I plan on holding this for a couple years. Well, yeah, the value is going to go up, but just because it's sitting in your account on the exchange or on your ledger doesn't mean that it's actually accruing an interest. It's just its own value is going up. Now, if you want the value to go up and earn an interest, that's where DeFi or decentralized finance starts to come in. Maybe you've heard of people kind of spreading the word DeFi is growing, this and that. Oh, what about the DeFi space? So BlockFi is one of those things in the DeFi space. And what you're doing is you're basically staking your cryptocurrency, and primarily they work with the ones that you guys see on the screen here. And by staking, so you earn an interest rate per day that depends on the variable amount of how much you put in. And then once a month, it fully pays that out. You can actually withdraw once a month your money for free. But if you want to do additionally, then they start to charge some fees, right? So if you're like, hey, I want to put some in, I want to get an interest, and maybe you're one of those people, you just want to live off the interest. There you go. Now, if you want, you can also leave it in there and it can compound itself. So you're actually making more and more and more and more every month. And so the way that you're making money off of this is because they're then loaning out your Bitcoin to other people that need to borrow it. And the way that they borrow it is they put up collateral, right? So think of it this way, right? The reason why somebody might want something like this is because of the fact that they don't want to sell their Bitcoin. They just want the cash on hand to try and buy some more. They're okay with paying a little bit of an interest rate. They think having the extra cash is going to do them enough justice to be able to get a return, be able to get back their Bitcoin or whatever they put up in front as collateral, and also come out with a profit on the back end, right? Now, but because they put a collateral up front, if they fail to pay that amount back and the interest on that, then that collateral gets seized. And because they have to do that first, it's not like they can try and work around it. So that collateral is always there as a form of security to help pay on the back end to the people that they were getting the lending from, i.e. the people that are depositing the stuff. So this has been working out really well for me. 0 to 2.5 is the amount that you can earn for Bitcoin for a 6% increase APY. Now, anything above that is going to just get 3%. Now, let me clarify this. From my understanding, the way I've been looking at everything like this, that means if you have 3.5 Bitcoin, 2.5 of that Bitcoin will get 6%. The other 1 Bitcoin will only get 3%. So you're still earning. And if you let it compound interest in it, you're going to be getting 3% in excess of 2.5% on top of everything else. So it's still very valuable. You can also choose how you want your payouts to be. So it's got a lot of good stuff. But I'm telling you guys about this. There is a link in the description if you want to use that as a referral. You just got to deposit $100 or more in your account, and then both you and me will get $10 in Bitcoin as a little bonus, right? So if you guys want to check it out, by all means, feel free to do so. If you're just letting your crypto sit there for a while, the custodians for this is Gemini. So if you guys have heard of Coinbase and you use Coinbase, Gemini is with the Winklevoss twins. They're the custodians for BlockFi. So, always do your research. Be careful with whatever you choose to do. But hey, I mean, it's working out for me. I've seen a lot of other big crypto people talk about it too. Anyways, I don't want to ramble on. I'll try and make that much shorter for, way shorter for future videos. But because of how little information I'm doing today, I went ahead and just threw it in there. So we're seeing it just kind of bouncing back and forth right now. And yeah, as of the new daily candle position so far, it's still fairly quiet. We do see that it is up on the green side. I really want to see this push to $50,000 as soon as possible, mainly because I am pretty darn sure there's going to be a lot of sell walls that occur at $50,000. So if we can manage to break that, in the next 2-3 weeks or so, I think that's going to open up the floodgates for so many more opportunities. And I hope you guys realize that. $50,000 is a key psychological level. When we talk about the fact that someday Bitcoin could be worth $100,000, it could be worth $384,000, it could be worth $1 million, $5 million, $10 million for one Bitcoin, right? The speculation behind all of this gets more and more justified as we actually get closer to these points. And a $50,000 price point is, of course, half the way to $100,000. So once we pass $50,000, we are technically closer to hitting $100,000 than we are for it to go to zero. I hope you guys understand that. It is more likely at that point that we will go to 100K than to zero. That is very important. And $100,000 is a staple point, then once again opens up the floodgates to a whole other set of possibilities. It's like going from 9,000 to 10K. Once you pass 10K, you think you have the range all the way up from 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K, etc., all the way up to just before you hit $100,000, right? All of that seems more realistic, more probable. So us getting above this is so important. And we got very close to it yesterday, as we talked about. $49,700 was a key level of resistance. We did have some pullback that occurred, quite a substantial amount, pulling back to $48,685, basically $48,700 right there. And as you guys can see, pulling right back down right now once again. So we have a little bit of selling pressure occurring. There was that nice little run up, some selling going on. Anyone that's selling, by the way, at this point in time, you guys are living on the edge so dangerously because we have so much possibility, right? And $50,000, if you even put up a sell wall just right below that, just a little bit below that, right? You could still have a wide range of profits from where we're currently at right now. And a lot of people feel that we should be at $50,000. People are waiting for that. So you got people that are trying to prevent it from happening. For whatever reason, they're trying to accumulate more. But with the amount of institutions that are coming in, all it takes is one big tweet from somebody else announcing that they just bought it or they're about to buy it, right? Look at how much Grayscale is purchasing, and that's so important. Now, we are seeing some sell-off pressure going on right now, as you guys can take a look with all of this. Looks like, oh, darn, I used to have the names of these. I'd have to go in the settings and change it, but I don't want to waste that much time with it. 1.4 million, 1.1 million, 1.4 million being sold. Some of you purchased for 1.5 million. These are going higher numbers. I have this set to at least $100,000 on this kinds of stuff. So yeah, we got those key levels as the way going up. Now, if it decides it wants to go down, we did have a bounce yesterday at $47,100 respectively. So I'd be keeping an eye on that just a little bit, and then a further decline all the way down here. We'd actually see the 21 EMA, that'd be 41,765. Would be huge, right? And if there's no negative news for something like that to sell off, the only thing that I could think of that would really indicate that pressure would be because of the Chinese New Year. But honestly, something of that magnitude with no bad news would be just, it'd be ridiculous. But anything is possible in the world of crypto. Also, I want you guys to keep an eye on the fact that the volume yesterday did have a little bit of an uptick, but it wasn't anything crazy to write home about, right? So we're still seeing very low levels of volume, even with as much as the price increase that happened yesterday as it did. So if a bunch of people actually FOMO in, it's looking more and more likely that that's going to happen right underneath $50,000. And on top of it, the longer that we dangle right underneath $50,000, the more likely it is that we establish that as a strong base of support. And when we decide to then flood the gates, it is going to smash through $50,000. And I could very well see it making a run towards upper $55,000 towards $60,000. So very, very promising things are looking like they're on the horizon right now. I'm not a financial advisor. Let me make that clear with everybody here. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. But I spend a lot of time researching this stuff, and I've been doing this for a good amount of time, and hopefully you find my information valuable. Hopefully you find the news articles as well being included in these videos as very valuable. I know there wasn't really much news today. And I'm going to run through these pretty darn quick now. So Ethereum at $1,814, still trying to break above its previous all-time high, right around the $1,877 range. We got a key level of resistance, obviously there, and then next up is our big goal. We're trying to get to 2,000. So let's break 1,900 and then hit towards $2,000. That could very well happen very soon, and a big parabolic run with Ethereum towards 2K could have a big push on the altcoins as well. And if this decides it wants to drop down, 1,750 is still a key level of support. The RSI, sorry, the 21 EMA, my bad. The 21 EMA right here is still pulling up higher, By doing so, it's pulling and pinching itself a little bit closer towards our current price point, which is not necessarily the greatest news. When that happens, if we cross below that, that suggests that we're now entering into potentially a bear market trend. And a 21 EMA suggests more of like on a daily position. So you're looking a little bit more of a long-term situation, right? So hopefully this continues to rise itself above this level and everything is looking good. The RSI itself is still pretty high, but it's not actually considered as being overbought. You can also see that the level of volume has been progressively down ever since February 8th. So we are looking at right around the corner, guys, for a big uptick. Whether the volume means that it's going to be positive or negative, that's the big question. But as of right now, everything is suggesting in the trends, in the news, that we have more demand and that there's a more likelihood that we are going to continue to see a rise, right? Things are looking absolutely beautiful. Now let's go take a look over at Orchid. Orchid had a second day of red candles. You can actually see this is nice for a change. The amount of the wick that's on the bottom, we typically see this on the top trend. But now it's on the bottom, meaning that yes, as there is normally a pump and dump situation with Orchid, what we are conversely seeing is buying action also taking place. So it's becoming less manipulated as time is starting to go by from what it appears like. And I'm sure a lot of people are waiting for this thing to go full on parabolic. And I am one of the people when I love this cryptocurrency, right? So yesterday had a drop all the way down to 58 cents, closed out at 63 cents, currently holding right at that 63 cent range as of the time of me recording this video. We need to break above this Fibonacci retracement level. In fact, let me go ahead and just kind of pull this out this way. What is going on with that? Let me go ahead and set this up on the weekly. And I'm going to get this deleted. This is looking a little bit funky to me. All right, so pull up the Fibonacci retracement. Zoom in here just a tad bit, going from that previous all-time high and then working our way all the way down to an average median zone right there. Go ahead and pull this over just a tad bit, and then let's go swap this back over to the daily position and get ourselves zoomed on in. There we go. That's looking a lot better. So ironically, you guys can see now that I've done that, unedited, by the way, that yesterday's position had a bounce right off of the Fibonacci. That was at 68 cents, came all the way down, and essentially it bounced off of, just like we were seeing the previous day before that too, the 58 cent level. So right now we got major resistance that's looking like at 68 cents, major support at 58 cents. If it decides it wants to drop down, 48 cents is right near that 21 EMA, right? So they're very, very close. That is a strong indicator of if it decided to drop, that there's a lot of reasons why it should not go further below that. Anything can happen, but that is looking very strong. And the likelihood that this decides it wants to continue up, not only do we need to pass above the 80 cent range, we're then seeing, based on especially the Fibonacci retracement level, 82 cents, right? So 82 cents is going to be next key level. And the $1 range is sitting just absolutely beautifully right here with the Fibonacci retracement. Of course, that's also where we'd establish ourselves because that was the previous all-time high. So things are looking very interesting. The RSI pulled down a little bit, kind of some sideways action as of the moment, but still technically suggesting that it is overbought. And then the technical chart behind me is suggesting a buy as well. And lastly, now we're going to go take a look at REP USD, and what is going on with REP. So REP had a massive green candle yesterday with a huge bit of pullback as well, suggesting that this is more than likely a pump and dump situation. This just totally came out of the blue, out of nowhere. We do have 1, 2, 3 days of green candles on the rise up, followed up by this consecutive candle. So it actually went all the way up to right around $56, almost $57 before pulling back down to $45.64. On the new daily candle position, it's still showing green. And do keep in mind, once again, that we're in the bull market cycle, and this is suggesting that a lot of the altcoins are going to rise. This is a very volatile type position though, so be very cautious with this. The RSI is extremely, not just overbought, it's extremely overbought right now. It's actually above the 90 range at the moment, holding on right around 91. technical radar is suggesting strong buy. Once again, it's behind me. You guys can't quite see it, but I'm just letting you guys know what that's saying. The volume so far for the daily position is extremely small. However, we are still seeing some nice price gains going up. So overall, this is still looking pretty good. I would be cautious, though, if it decides that it wants to have a bit of a pullback here. So let me go ahead and get this just set up a little bit for you guys like this. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that back. Just try and keep it on the line right there. All right. So I would say realistically on a rise up, let's see if we can break above $49.14 first. Probably going to have some major resistance occurring on there. And then, of course, towards the $57 range. And then after that, we're going to be looking at $60 as the next major milestone. We go through both technical charts, but also key basic fundamentals of psychology. So, of course, $60 is going to be a level that we're going to try and get ourselves above. It's just common sense. And then the next thing you do, if you go down on the 0.618 on the Fibonacci, that's at $42.66. A further drop down below that, we could end up seeing it go down to $38.15. That would be roughly, as far as the candle's body goes, just a little bit more than halfway down. So then an extreme correction would see it pull down to $33.58, and you can actually see here on the 21 EMA and the Fibonacci 0.236, those collide together at $28.19. So that's the biggest level drop that would extremely overcorrect everything that happened from the previous day. So is there a higher likelihood of this going down today than for it to go up? Based on the level of volume from yesterday, how high this candle actually rose, I would say yes. However, again, we're in the bull market cycle, and also the RSI is a concern. But overall, things are still looking good. So if it can manage to break above $49, then I think realistically it's right back on track towards aiming towards that $57 range. There could be some resistance, of course, as I'm talking about this. Overall, I would say the probability is more likely for a retracement. Right now, things are in the green, but just based on pure fundamentals, there is a higher probability of it going down than for it going up. The barrier of entry from this, after that pullback from yesterday, is pretty risky. However, you do still have opportunities to grow with it. Okay, so that's going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Once again, if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. Let's try and get this video to at least 100 likes. Click the bell icon. It is so important, guys, to click the bell icon if you have not yet done so that you actually know whenever we have a new video and you can stay up to date with everything. You guys are absolutely awesome. I appreciate all the community support. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about everything. Are you excited for $50,000? Do you think it's going to happen very, very soon? How soon do you guys think that's going to happen? It's at $48,731 right now, so a lot of back and forth action going on as of the moment. We'll have to wait and see how this stuff goes. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next episode.